Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the On Time On Target Morning Brief for Friday, August 6th. All right, we're going to talk about DraftKings this morning. DraftKings had earnings out earlier this morning, beat earnings, and they also guided up, which is what a lot of companies have not done lately. So stock was moving up pretty significant earlier. They just finished their conference call, and the stock kind of took a nosedive at the end of the conference call. We'll take a look at the chart here in a second. I'll show you that. But that is our long for the day. And of course, you know that is a long-term hold for Anchor Star Wealth. That is a name we've been in since I think it was a SPAC, if I remember correctly. It's been a while now. But we'll go back and we'll take a look at the chart. We'll talk about where it's been and where it's going. Now, this stock has been up, in the high 70s or so. It has basically dropped half of that, which is not uncommon, which is why you trim a little bit at the top, even though nobody wants to trim sometimes. But the stock is now on its way back to health, and I think it's a fantastic long-term hold. I do think the thesis of sports gambling becoming more and more popular. Certainly, I think I don't think we're going to close back down of any significance for this Delta variant or whatever variant comes in the future for COVID. But if we do, certainly one of the benefactors of that is sports gambling, right? So back in March of 2020, what are we going to do if everybody's locked in the house? Well, we're going to buy some Amazon because people are getting stuff delivered at the door. We're going to buy some Home Depot because once we can go to the store, we're living in our houses more, so we can get all those projects done. And what can we do to entertain ourselves from the house? We can gamble on sports, assuming sports are going, which they did to a certain extent through the pandemic, the heart of the pandemic, if you will. And I think it will continue here. So still love the long-term theme. There are some competitors in the space. Penn Gaming is pretty popular. Boyd Gaming is also popular, and of course MGM and even Fubo TV is trying to come out with a casino or basically sports gambling right through their device to your TV. So you'll be able to watch the game and then gamble, in the column to the right. If you've seen that, I've seen some, I think there's a channel out there. I don't know if it's an ESPN channel or something that has things live, so you can actually look at the different tickers out there. So that's what we're going to talk about. There will not be a question of the day. Today, I need to go right after the open because it is Central Texas sports volleyball day. Friday is the first scrimmages for pretty much all of the major Division 5A, Division 6A schools across Texas. So scrimmage day today, scrimmage day tomorrow. They play every day next week. Scrimmage next Friday, Saturday, and scrimmage the following Friday and Saturday. So basically half of the season is front loaded before school even starts. So kind of crazy, but sports are considered to be a little bit important around here, and we love it, of course. All right, our longs for the day, we've got some DraftKings and Plug Power, both with an earnings beat, guiding up. They're up about 7% or so. Again, DraftKings is selling off, so keep an eye on that. On the short side, Invax, negative earnings, as well as they had a drug that was supposed to go up for FDA approval. That's been delayed. And then Expedia, taking a pretty big hit. That's my favorite short of the day. The longs are looking better because we do have a nice big green market this morning based off of the jobs report that we just got. So far it's everything's ticking higher into a nice green Friday, as I like to say. All right, let's go ahead. If you're catching us on replay, thank you so much. Make sure to subscribe, hit the notification bell. If you want to come into the room, $25 a month, which you don't see as a chat window or participant window up there, in a Q&A window where you can ask me questions real time. And with that, let's go ahead and get started. All right, here's our lineup card for today, Friday, August 6th. We are going to standard disclaimer applies. This is a financial education presentation, so you have to do your own due diligence for acting upon anything you hear this morning. Full disclaimer information is available at OTOTnow.com. Mission objectives for today: grow our money, protect our money, and live off our money. We're definitely talking about growing our money by capturing one of the major themes out there, and that is the continuing acceptance, legalization, as well as popularity of sports gambling. And the best way I think to play it is DraftKings, been in the name since it came out, whenever that was. We'll probably be able to decipher that from the chart. And I think it's a great place to keep your money. Maybe not all of it. If you've got an oversized position, might want to trim some here. Now that it's finally getting some love back, but as long as you have a normal size, you can continue to hold here. All right, flow will be long, short, open, short, long. We'll do a market review, headline review. We'll take a look at that chart that I keep talking about. We'll get in the short-term execution. It will be a short-term execution, so I will take a very aggressive trade. This morning, I'm anticipating Expedia short is the trade that I think I will take, and I have to be out of here by about 5 minutes after the open. So contingencies and academic resources are standard. All right, let's go over to TD Ameritrade ThinkPipes platform. Here is what our setup's going to look like. We'll have the SPY all the way to the left. We have our two longs, DraftKings and Plug Power. You can see both. That's what I was talking about in DraftKings about it selling off. This red thing at the bottom here is the earnings call. So again, everybody taking questions, and looks like about 10 minutes into that, things started to not go so hot. So here's generally where they're reading boilerplate stuff, and then this is when folks start asking questions. So I'll see what the scoop is about that. We've got Plug going along here, and then Expedia short, if you will. All right, zooming out though, where are we with the market? Again, trending higher. Nice recovery towards the end of the day yesterday. So everything's powering higher, and I think we will continue to do so until we start talking about tax reform of significance, or if places start to shut down. Obviously, the having to prove your, carry your vaccine card in New York's a little bit concerning. Especially if that would kind of go more mainstream than, where it is right now. But certainly it's not a good sign, but we'll kind of have to just monitor. No need to go to the sidelines just yet. And then, of course, tax reform will be the punch to the nose likely when I start talking about capital gains. As far as the five-day chart, here's some of that love. So we've been trading sideways for some time, like a couple of weeks. Now kind of getting up to that new highs level. So we'll see if that continues today. All right, let's go over to CNBC and check out these futures. Got the NASDAQ a little bit in the red there. It was up pretty decent yesterday, so that's not uncommon. Over in Europe, it was green earlier. Yep, green across the board. That looks good. Asia mixed, but pretty light, to be honest. All right, as far as bonds, up to 1.28. No big deal there. Oil up a little bit, but still below 70. Gold and silver sold off a little bit, and then crypto, Bitcoin was up pretty big yesterday. You see that 41,000 number, and kind of flat today. So nice. The big jump yesterday was and we talked about MSTR as the proxy for that, and that turned out to have like a 7 or 8% day yesterday. So I'll take it. Nice move. All right. As far as your headlines for today. Analyst calls. I didn't catch that on Home Depot, so let's check that out real quick on what's going on there. Downgrade Moderna, Generac outperform. Beyond Meat is a buy. I don't think so. That's just me. Too many competitors in the space now. GE is a buy. There's Expedia with the downgrade. That's what's going to be our short today. All right, where's that Home Depot comment? Where you at? Penn Gaming to buy from hold. So again, that's a direct competitor of DraftKings. There's your Plug Power. That's a long today. All right, Home Depot and Lowe's is a buy, and they're compelling. Ooh, exciting, compelling. Yep, I agree. I own both in the book. All right, let's take a look at other headlines out there. Hold your nose and jump in to buy a pool stock. I don't know what stock they're talking about, but pools are a hot commodity now. That's for sure. Not going in as fast. Everybody wants one since we're kind of stuck around our homes, or there's the threat that we might be stuck around our homes again. All right, here's your payroll increase numbers, 943,000. I think the expectations were about half of that. So unemployment down to 5.4%. So still kind of bad numbers, but starting to get back to normal, if you will. Crazy crap's going down at Spirit Airlines. I would not be anxious to fly in one of those. They canceled, I think, half their flights last week. So yeah, not good. You're always taking a little bit of a risk when you book a flight on Spirit. I've done it. I've had the family fly on it. We've been lucky, but there's times when, yeah, you hear some pretty bad stories. All right, here we talked about this yesterday. The White House backed senators pushing for stricter crypto reporting rules. Again, don't know exactly how that's going to play out, but again, the government certainly wants to tighten the purse strings a little bit. As far as I see a market mover here that's left over from yesterday, Wynn Resorts. All it did yesterday for one day of its life is win. So up 8% yesterday. And here's that Pin Gaming yesterday that we've been talking about. Direct competitor DraftKings up 9% yesterday. All right, let's take a look at that DraftKings chart, which is not there. So let's switch it over to there. All right. So off over here on the left side of the chart, again, this is a 9-month chart. So we were in the 40s. Dropped all the way down to 34 or so. And then it did this March of Justice from last November. So think election, right? Election, Biden gets elected. We think that, the Democratic and one of the major themes will be to legalize sports gambling and then to turn around and tax it. So this thing basically doubles all the way up above 70. And then, okay, I don't know what caused the downturn here, but certainly it went down, bounced off of 40, came back, bounced off of 40 again. Now it's marching back higher from 50. So when you look at this chart, it's got a lot of room to run to the upside. As far as the performance, though, they're losing $3 a share and expected next year to only lose half of that, right? So they crush it with sponsorships. That's where they spend all their money. So if I was to be concerned about anything, is that these they do have a tendency to spend a ridiculous amount on sponsorships and advertising, which if that pays off, then stock goes crazy higher, but it has to pay off at some point, right? And a lot of competitors in the space as well. But I do like where DraftKings is positioned. Again, not a screaming buy, but certainly I think it's got a direct run up to probably 60, maybe even 65 before it kind of settles down. All right. Let's switch over to TD Ameritrade, and I'll be right back with our setup for the trade of the day. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the On Time On Target play of the day. We have 15 seconds to the market open. We have the S&P 500 on the left pane here of the TD Ameritrade ThinkPipes platform. 1 minute chart kind of trending higher. We have DraftKings. It was up bigger earlier. You can see that it's kind of settling in, so that makes me a little bit concerned. So we aren't going to look at that right away. There's our opening bell. Plug power looks a little bit better, up 9%. And then what I like is our short over here at down 8% is this Expedia. All right, if we're over here, we're going to be $1 short, if you will. High of the day would be 150. We'll call it 150.20 would be high of the day. I'd like to see it set a new high of the day here real quick before we take it short. That puts us in at 149.20, which is right here. I'm not quite ready to take it yet. Got plenty of volume. I just need it to settle down a little bit. Probably need to go in a minute too before we can take this. Neither Plug or DraftKings is working long here. So, all right, that's what I wanted to see. Let's go up and set a new high here in Expedia, then we'll take it short. There we go. So now we're up at 150. So we're going to take it at 149.50. Now, I'm not aggressive enough to take it right there, even though I just called it. I just don't like how much this is flopping around. It's got to settle down before you pull the trigger on this. All right, let's switch out of Plug for a second. Look at our other short, Invax. That was the one. Daggone it. If you're going to get aggressive, look at that. The drop, $7 drop down from 20 right there. Oh, I can't take this. I can't take this trade here in EXPE. It's just not set up correctly with this tail all the way down here already. If you want to trade it, it's 150. You got to enter it at 149.50, which is where it is. It keeps hitting off of that though, which is not a good sign. So, all right. So not going to trade today on a Friday. Market's powering higher though. So let's zoom out real quick and look at the market. Got DraftKings up 16%. DD's up almost 4. It was up like 5.5 earlier. They said some report this morning that they will cooperate with authorities and release a bunch of data. Was about what I got out of the headlines. And I was like, okay, well, that seems like a smart move. And why weren't you doing that before, I guess? But we shall see. All right, so some other names there higher. Let's look at the short side. FireEye. Oh, crud. Let's look at the FireEye. A few folks in FireEye that might be not pleased with this move. Okay, went from $20 all the way down to 17. So yeah, 12.5% there on that drop based off of, looks like they beat earnings, but obviously they missed their earnings target. I mean, they're profitable, but they probably had a higher target, and then did inspire some confidence in their conference call yesterday. And then people thought about it overnight and went, no, false. And they're selling off there. So, all right. Let's see some other names. Silver selling off almost 3%. Palo Alto, that's being drugged down by FireEye as well. AMC, NVIDIA. I saw MSTR bouncing around. Let's look at that real quick. So there was the huge move up yesterday in MicroStrategy, and there again proxy for Bitcoin, so selling off a little bit today, but nothing of super note. All right, back here to our day trading chart. Invax too far gone. DraftKings, you just didn't get an entry there. And then we'll look at plug again real quick. Yeah, this is more of a short entry than a long entry, so don't like that either. So, yep, no trades today. And actually, I'm going to close out a little bit early on you guys here. So, thank you so much for checking in. You guys have a great weekend, and we will be back bright and early on Monday morning. Talk to you then. Bye.